No flags, just chalk and a loaded bar. Every nation said the best, they travel far. Finish ice in American steel, Brazilian fire. Every kilo on this platform raises the bar higher. Classic rules, no gear, just skin and will. The world is watching now, the arena's still. You spent 4 years in silence, nobody clapped. Now the whole world holds its breath for where your hands are mapped. This is where the steel decides. When nations clash and glory hides. Every rep, every scar, every early morning drive. This is where the strongest ones arrive.
This is where the steel decides.
2 attempts down, 1 left on the clock. The platform doesn't care about your prep or your talk. Red light means nothing if you come back cleaner. Every kilo closer to a record, every margin leaner. East meets west under this same cold bar. You don't need a language when you know what you are. The iron is honest, it never inflates. It only bends for the ones who
Showed up to be great.
steel doesn't lie. Nations don't hide. This is the IPF classic. This is where legends are tried. When nations rise and nothing hides. Every scar, every 5 a.m., every weight you try. Brought you here to where the strongest ones arise.
Steel decides, steel decides.
Still decide.
Steel decides.
And welcome to the IPF World Championships here live in Druskininkai, Lithuania. I am Ryan Lapadat, accompanied in the booth with Amelia Potter. And Amelia, today we have the open 59 kilo class heavily hyped showdown between defending world champion Ivan Campano from Spain and, of course, a lot of eyes, a lot of talk online for Michael Slavic of USA. These two have gone back and forth online. You've seen the training totals neck and neck. The longest standing IPF total world record is the 59 kilo total world record. And a lot of talk, it might fall to both of these gentlemen today. This is a 2-flight class. That is Flight B we're taking a look at. So without any interruptions, we'll move right into Flight A, and you'll see the conclusion. Amelia, how excited are you for this showdown?
Well, Ryan, it's bound to be extremely exciting. Like you said, that record has stood for a hefty amount of time, and to see it potentially be broken, not just once, but twice this morning, potentially, is so extremely exciting.
In sports, you die for these type of showdowns where you truly don't know who's going to win. And today, for the 59 kilo class championship, it's flip a coin between Michael Slavic and Ivan Campano. And of course, just getting onto the podium looks like a 5-way battle. As we begin, Jose Flores, 150 kilos, representing New Zealand.
Pretty
Nicely
steady
done.
Yeah, pretty steady looking opener there for Jose. And 59 kilo class, not historically a very full class, but I think we have a pretty hefty amount of lifters this morning, so ever growing.
Yeah, not only was it not deep in previous years in terms of the amount of lifters, but the depth in terms of talent pool at the top for a long time. Just Fedoshenko, then a big drop off from number 2, number 3, but those days are long gone. And there's a handful of 59 kilo class lifters capable of taking Fedoshenko's open world record in the overall depth at the IPF World Championships. 2 flights of 59s. To your point earlier, didn't used to see that. And Ryu Imamura of Japan, 165.
Now the weight looked extremely comfortable, and 3 white lights, they could lift a pretty upright squat there, so when that gets a little heavier, if we reach the top end, perhaps we'll see that slow down in the middle, but no sign of it right now.
Japan on the board. And these appear to be the type of openers you want to see. Nice, smooth, no major task to get them completed. 175, Jonas Madeira of Australia.
With a current personal best of 192.5. Pretty nice conservative opener there, 17.5 kilos below.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see. He smiles. It's a good indication. And Australia is on the board. Ergen up next. 175, representing the Netherlands. Kamal has previously hit 187.5. Left some room. This should move well.
That's a little slow down in the middle portion there, and again, hard to tell from the opener if that is an issue or a particular style that the lifter adopts, but let's hope it's the latter rather than the former for his opening attempt. Either way, he's on the board.
With some of these lighter weight classes, it can be a weight cut, and that can change almost anything. Ivan, 177.5, representing Puerto Rico, veteran of these IPF Worlds.
Previous personal best of 187.5, so just 10 kilos below that here.
44 years old, a master lifter, competing in IPF Open Worlds. Yeah, nicely done.
Just gets a depth call from the center referee, usually the more difficult position to tell depth from, as they're looking for the hip crease to dip below the top of the knee joint. So we'll have a look here from the side angle. What do you think there, Ryan?
Looked okay from the side. The two side refs did give it to him.
And the jury seemed pretty happy to let it stand.
Georgi Jelisvili, 192.5.
A little closer to his top end of 200 kilos here for his opener. Let's hope this moves well for him.
Looking at the spread amongst these gentlemen, master lifter followed by a junior, all competing in the open. Another good opening squat.
And 3 white lights, a good lift. Yeah, only 20 years old.
That's a 24-year spread between those two lifters.
Yeah,
How crazy is that?
Just goes to show everybody can compete here in powerlifting. It is about skill, not about age.
We've seen legends like Dave Ricks of USA in his 60s breaking open world records in the 93 kilo class. Sant'Angelo of Italy, 195. A little bit of a wobble there, unexpected, but sometimes it can be just a sudden loss of tension. Doesn't mean overall the day, how that's going to look. You don't want to overread into it.
Yeah, as well as the first squat can often be the most nerve-wracking, you know, getting that first lift out the way. So we'll have to see how it moves in a second.
Keeping an eye on that replay. Yeah, it was definitely there. see if it becomes more pronounced in the second attempt. Angel Cruz from Mexico, 200 kilos, 205 his previous personal best. We're getting close already with openers. See how this moves. And Mexico, not a short flight.
No, not by any means. And opening the heaviest of the B flight here before we head through to the second round of squats.
Just for comparison, 240.5 is the world record squat. This gentleman opening at 200. See how this moves. Yeah, maybe for an opener, it was definitely stiffer than some of the other openers we've seen.
And another interesting thing to look at to kind of give us some more clues is perhaps how the lifter reacts after that attempt. You know, he didn't seem too shaken by it, but certainly wasn't ecstatic. So perhaps a little bit harder than he expected, but he knows what the game plan is and knows what he's capable of.
You take a look at the squats as they rest so far. Obviously, this is flight B. We have a whole other flight after this with no intermission. Jose Flores back, 157.5, 7.5 kilo jump, 5 kilos below his personal best.
Actually, I wouldn't say it changed too much from his opening attempt. It wasn't the fastest squat in the world, but it certainly looked strong and steady. And he is on the board with that 3 white lights, 7.5 kilos more than his opening attempt.
To your point, when you're trying to read in on bar speed, you got to know your lifter. Obviously, two-time world champion is the easiest example to point to. He will grind in the warm-up room at times, and there's plenty more. So it's lifter to lifter. Is as Amamura of Japan sets up for 175 kilos. Rio has previously hit 180 kilos in comp.
Again, speed was really good. I just want to wait for the lights. And it is good, 3 white lights. I think the upright position, I was a little bit worried about the depth, but I think it is just the angle there that makes it, for me, look a little bit worried. But I wouldn't want to go any higher than that personally, but it looks good. He's found the sweet spot.
Yeah, it's right on the line. Now he's got an all-black singlet. A little more difficult to tell where it is, and he moves quick in and out of the hole, so to his benefit. 180 kilos now for Kamal Ergin, the Netherlands.
Just a 5 kilo jump here for Ergin, so perhaps the opener did in fact feel a little tougher than he expected. 7.5 kilos off his best. Very deep.
Whoa, to your point, they took a conservative jump, and there is why. That looked obviously like a third. I don't know how much more you go up from there.
I think the smart choice here would be the minimal increment of 2.5 kilos. You can see he really sunk it here, and I think that kind of threw him off. It's going to be harder to get up from that, but either way, that small jump's got to be the safe choice.
Have to, and even that 2.5 kilo jump. Now, obviously, he can raise his intensity. A lot can happen with that alone. 10 kilo jump, wow, for Ivan of Puerto Rico. This is equaling his personal best. Here we go, moving all in. You don't often see 10 kilo jumps in the 59 kilo class. But Ivan, 44 years old, master lifter, veteran of the game. He knows what he's doing. Again, he's coming from the Western Hemisphere. It's a tough journey. Nicely done, though. Wow, he's got more in the tank, Amelia.
Yeah, a very precise squat. I was going to say, and I'm glad to see 3 white lights because it seems like he really did find, again, the sweet spot with that depth. It was no deeper. than he needed to be, and there are no extra points for getting the squat as deep as possible.
It is, yeah, it's right on the line. We're establishing what's good, what's bad, what's pass, what's fail.
Now, you mentioned 10 kilos being a bit of an unusual jump in the 59s. Would you look at this?
Yeah, 12 and a half. Jonas Madeira of Australia. 12 and a half kilo jump in the 59 kilo class. Still below his personal best of 192.5. So, and some people like a really smooth, easier opener. It's conserving your energy. It's a long day. And if you're 59, the cut's a lot. You don't want to risk anything.
Wow.
Still move well. He's got room in the tank there. Not flying too close to the sun on the second attempt. Sorry, go ahead.
It just goes to show that his opening attempt, was a smart, conservative choice, that he felt comfortable enough to make that sort of jump and still make it look like a second attempt.
It's got to be some feedback from the lifter as well. You don't want just a head coach being like, this is how I do it. This is how I do my attempt selection. Every lifter is different. Set them up. Let them be comfortable. 200 kilos for Sant'Angelo of Italy. Jacopo. Previously hit 210. We're 10 kilos below that. 5 kilo jump from his opener. That was a nice, smooth second attempt.
Just waiting for one of the referees' lights here, but 3 white lights, a good lift.
Georgi Jelasvili of Georgia, 202.5.
Looking to match his personal best here on his second attempt. As you mentioned before, the youngest of the flight, birth year of 2006. Big right.
Wow, yeah. You know what? This is only attempt number 2. Already grinding missing lifts.
And he weighed in very close to 59, 58.8. So like you said, a lot of these gentlemen aren't going to naturally sit around this body weight. It's going to be a pretty extreme cut.
207.5 for Angel Cruz. Another junior, 22 years old. 7.5 kilo jump, 2.5 kilo personal best should he hit it. And already in the second attempts, these gentlemen taking some rather big squats. Are they loading up too much too soon? Or will they be ready for it?
Certainly slowed down, but it looked to me more confident than his opening attempt for sure. That was a good lift.
Yeah, sometimes too the opening squat helps you acclimatize. You got the weight on your back, got a bite in it.
Also get a sense of what the referees are looking for on the day, and if your lifting is to standard, if it is, you can relax a little bit heading into that second attempt.
Leading into the World Championships, before it starts, you're nervous. Once you hit your first attempt, you can almost go into autopilot at times. 160, Jose Flores of New Zealand. 2.5 kilos below his personal best. Final attempt for Jose. Wow. He was almost entirely looking at the ground beneath him. No, 2 calls on depth.
Let's have a look at that again in the replay. And sometimes athletes go the other way. When they get white lights in the openers, sometimes they revert back to maybe slightly worse habits. Maybe they sunk it a little bit more than usual in the opener and they go, okay, I'm safe. And let's hope it's something he can correct there in his third.
That actually was his third. We're in our third round here.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, and you know, to your point, also sometimes a little bit of survival instincts kicks in when that weight gets heavy, and all of a sudden you just cut depth a little bit. It's not totally uncommon as well as Kamal Ergin, 182.5 for his final squat, 5 kilos below his personal best, so he's leaving some room, and I'm okay with that. Depending on how the weight cut went. Set yourself up, go 3 for 3.
Sinks it again, is still fighting through,
My
still
gosh!
moving.
And
Wow.
that right on the money attempt selection. Perfect attempt selection, got every kilo out of their lifter in the squat event, and this is where previous personal best throw them out the window and operate on what's best for the day.
Absolutely, you have to take what's on the day, and I don't think that was a world where 2.5 wasn't the right choice for
Agreed.
this gentleman.
185. Imamura of Japan. $10-kilo jump from his opener, 10-kilo jump from his second attempt, 20-kilo spread in the squat event.
This will be for a 5-kilo personal best here on his third.
Oh, what a fight. Oh my gosh.
Even when the bar is being pushed side to side, front and back, he manages to stand it up. And 2-1, a good lift. He does get a blue, I would imagine, looking at downwards movement. But if we look here in the replay, it doesn't look like it goes down.
Yeah, I agree with. It looks good to me. There was some helicopter. It wasn't pretty, but I didn't see down up. 192.5 for Ivan. Consel. Personal best of 5 kilos should he hit it. Representing Puerto Rico and all the master lifters watching.
What a depth call from the center referee on his opening attempt. 3 white lights in a second. Let's see if he can keep that standard with a 5-kilo personal best on this third.
And take a look at that. Smooth, composed, doesn't get bullied around by the weight. 3 for 3 and a personal best at 44 years old at the IPF World Championships.
Let's get a depth call from the center referee. Looking at the side angle, but the jury seem happy with it. And like you said, what a great start to the day.
Jonas, 195. 2.5 kilo personal best if he hits this. Madeira 2 for 2 so far.
Let's see it, Jonas.
Wow, and when they flash the smile before the completion, you know it feels good and they're confident. Even before entering the lockout phase of that squat, smile spread across his face, and 3 for 3 it is.
Get a blue from the right side. Referee, juries are looking at it, but seem content. As you said, it will remain 3 for 3.
Santangelo, 202.5, 7.5 kilos below his previous personal best. and a pretty high hit rate in the 59 kilo class.
A really nice looking third there from Jacopo. And we've seen some difficult lifts kind of from first to third here in the 59, but they've been really very good at executing regardless of the speed or difficulty of them.
Yeah, no major form breakdowns, which obviously helps. And Georgi Jelesvili of Georgia, 202.5, missed this on the second, appeared to be on strength, coming back out. And we have seen lifters do a couple corrections and hit where they previously missed. He cut that one a little high, yeah. So there's one thing where, you know, you try to preserve yourself by cutting it a little high. If it was strength, it's natural.
Yeah, but at what cost? You know, I mean, a moral victory for sure if you get the lift, but the aim of the game is to get those white lights.
Right.
It's 9 times out of 10 subconscious, maybe that 1 time out of 10 you're seeing if you get away with it.
Yeah. Walk off the platform, don't look back, you never know. Angel Cruz, 210. But the IPF Worlds, that's a tough meet to get away with one. And this is the final lift for Flight B, but with no break, we move directly into Flight A, and you know what that means. We're going to see Michael Slavic, Ivan Campano, head-to-head as we battle for the 59-kilo world title. Angel. Nope.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on the day.
Nice catch by the spotters and loaders. And there's a peek at how the squats rest after Flight B concludes. 207.5 is where we leave off. 240.5 is the world record. And as you take a look at the nominated squats of some of these gentlemen, not entirely inconceivable. We'll see a world record squat attempt. Wei Chen Wang, 192.5.
Opening again pretty close to his personal best here, just 7.5 kilos below.
There we go. Bars loaded, weighting around 192.5.
Comfortable looking opener and 2-1, a good lift with just a blue card from the far side referee. So let's have a look at that in the replay and see if we can catch what that would have been for, Ryan.
I'm not too sure, to tell you the truth.
Jury seem happy with it.
Wei 195 for his opening squat. Previously hit 190 for a personal best coming in. So a 5 kilo personal best on his opener should he hit this. Bold. Not often at the IPF World Championships are you attempting personal best for your opener. 31 years old. Wow, but it moves like an opener should. Hard to believe that that's a personal best. Obviously hit some major improvements in prep for this.
Yeah, it seems like training has gone extremely well. Excited to see where that might end up by his third attempt.
And this is where the scouting reports sometimes throw you for a loop. Returning world champion Ivan Diaz Campano, 207.5. Ivan, previously 220 kilos, personal best squat. But some of his prep in the last year has been phenomenal. If he could bring that onto the platform today, definitely within reach of that world record total.
Wow, would you look at that?
Yeah, he's on form.
Three white lights, a good lift, and he's a very accomplished and experienced lifter. So for that to be 12.5 kilos below his best is extremely promising for him.
Michael Slavic, 212.5.
Like you said, a lot of hype around Michael coming into this competition. Still a junior at 23 years old.
And a lot of that talk coming from Mike himself, he is vocal about what he thinks he could do in this class. Drop down to the 59 kilo class from the 66s.
Let's see if he can deliver. Wow.
Oh, gosh. And obviously, when you're coming from the U.S., a lot of the conversation initially is, can you do that cut while with an international travel when you're facing international reffing? How does it look? That's easily to standard.
Yeah, and especially when a lifter comes in so confident, a lot of people do ask those questions, but there in his opening attempt, he has answered a lot of them. Let's see how the rest of the day goes for him.
Kwaku, 212.5 himself.
Kwaku Nyako is straight out of the juniors here, opening just 5 kilos below his personal best for Ghana. A definite podium contender here, like you alluded to before, a big fight for that podium position. A few names in the hat.
It was quick.
Certainly it was. And 2-1, a good lift. A yellow from the center referee for not having his thumbs around the bar. If we have a look here in the replay, hard to see, but you have to have your, oh, there we go. You can see the hand releases and almost changes position halfway through. So what do you make of that, Ryan?
Only the center ref caught that. He should be okay, even if he does it all the way through. If one ref is, the big problem would be obviously if the other refs start catching him for it. But the side refs probably leaning in for that depth call. He'll probably be okay. Antoine Garcia, 220. Obviously, Garcia previously won world championships himself in a big podium threat, the current European champion in the 59 kilo class.
Yeah, currently holds the squat world record at 240.5, so that is his to protect, but two lifters to come out after him.
He's in the conversation for that chip. That looked good.
Yeah, seemed very comfortable for him, and it is a good lift. 3 white lights, 20.5 kilos, of course, off the world record and his personal best.
No problem on the depth.
Got knocked around a little bit in the hole, so I think if he controls it a little bit better, he is going to look even stronger.
Takayama of Japan, 220. He's previously hit 230, 38 years old. Knocking on the door of the Masters. There was a time when you would have maybe 159 going over 600 kilos for a total. Takayama, with just his openers, 590. We're going to have several of these lifters. Oh, so we're right on the line for depth. It was easy enough.
Yeah, 2-1, a no lift. He gets a depth call from the left side referee and a yellow from the right. This side we can see on the angle.
For me on that angle, it was the depth. But again, sometimes You hit yellow, you mean red. Either way, failed lift.
Yeah, and the jury seemed pretty happy to keep that decision, so something hopefully he can fix there in his second.
You never want to miss an opening lift. Not yet. You can't decrease the weight. And if he's cutting depth because it felt heavy on his back, you got an issue. Or if this is how he's been squatting in prep for this, it's going to feel different if you got to go lower than you're used to in prep. But we'll see. As Franklin Leon, 43 years old, veteran of the game, 225.
Nice and controlled. And that, Ryan, was his personal best.
And the depth is in there. So we'll take a look at this replay. Difficult from that angle to have seen the depth. Maybe this will offer a little more clarity.
This is the side he gets the white from. The trouble is with going that slow is it gives ample time to the referees to see where that hip crease is. Coach goes to the jury.
You got to have that conversation. That was actually a pretty tough one for me to call. Obviously, the replay is the angle in which he got a white light. He was slow on the descent and then bombed it in at the very bottom of the hole. It's a tough one. 200 kilos now for Wang. Hit 182.5.
Sorry, the jury's overruled that last lift to a good lift for Franklin Leon from Ecuador.
And that's why you approach a jury. So going from opener miss to opener hit. One thing to miss your second or third, but when you are still tentatively in the game. Nice second attempt.
Yeah, we are moving fast through this fight. Not too much time for recovery. The lighter weight class, not a massive issue, but still not all the lifters are going to be used to taking their attempts so close together.
And for some of these gentlemen who cut some weight to get to 59, as the meet drags on, they get more hydrated, they get bigger, they feel better. But when it's quick turnaround, especially for the squats, you might not be at 100% by the time your third squat comes around. 205 for you. 195 is opener. 10 kilo jump. Moved well.
3 white lights, a good lift.
Ivan Campano, 215.
Just 5 kilos off his best here.
The pride of Spain. Sole world champion from last year's IPF World Championships, representing Spain.
A little more competition this year for him.
To say the least, every year it gets a little bit tougher. 3 white lights. The good thing for Ivan, he gets a little stronger every year. Looking to keep pace with the rest of the field. That was a good second attempt. Takayama, 220 kilos, missed this on his opener. Not the position you want to be in, but he's got 2 more attempts.
Yeah, let's hope he can find depth a little better here in his second. Strength not the issue. Let's hope with a little bit more depth it remains that way. Oh, and he's been asked to replace the bar.
Is it what I'm not sure what they saw they didn't like? And this is not how you want your world championships to begin. Miss your opener, gotta replace the bar on your second.
Gets the command.
Depth looked good from my angle anyways.
Yeah, definitely harder. Was the depth good enough? Yes, 3 white lights, and he is on the board after an extremely shaky start. But he's on there.
Not the way he thought he's gonna get 220, but he got it. Michael Slavic, 225 kilos. This is his previous personal best coming in. If he is going to end up with 670, beating the total world record, he needs to hit this convincingly, and add a pawn for his third.
And that looks pretty convincing to me, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm convinced as well. A lot more there for Slavic.
Next up, 225. Get ready. Bars loaded.
Depth looks good. Bar speed on point.
It's a very strong start to the competition.
And it's the end of the competition. Slavic has a killer deadlift. Kwaku, Nyarko with 225 himself.
This will already be a 7.5 kilo personal best, so very interested to see how this will move, hopefully convincingly. So he has a big third squat here.
Representing Ghana, Kwaku and Slavic actually going back and forth on social media. Amongst the rivalries in the 59 kilo class, and there's plenty, these two gentlemen, as well as Ivan Campano, defending world champ.
Another convincing looking second attempt here.
And this is where, when it gets heated between competitors, you make each other rise. Nobody wants to falter. You want to live up to the hype.
Yeah, a bit of a fight for squat medals by the looks of things here.
230 world record for a master lifter, Franklin Leon of Ecuador.
Just a 5 kilo jump here, probably sensible as well, considering he initially didn't get his opening attempt, then it got overruled by the jury to a good lift.
So it looked good. It's just, it was a judgment on depth. I agree that it should be good, at least from the replay that we saw. However, obviously the replay angle, same angle the ref on the platform gave it to him. See how this one looks. He's slowing the descent, bombs into the hole quickly. Bang right there. And it's somewhat difficult because his elbow is kind of covered. So same calls the first time.
Exact same story. We'll have a look at the replay, and I imagine we might see a similar story, but it looks like the jury tried to watch it a little more live from the worse angle.
So again, his arms kind of cover where you'd see the hip and the area before the hip rest.
Interestingly enough, coach not going to the jury this time round.
No, the coach wasn't convinced, and the jury's usually not going to help you out. 235, Antoine Garcia.
Just 5.5 kilos off of his own world record here in his second attempt. So if this goes well, we can only imagine where that third is going to go.
Reigning European champion, former world champion, highly decorated competitor. Slow and steady.
Can you see another 6 kilos on top of that, Ryan?
You know, it's tough because staying on the podium is going to be tough in the 59 kilo class. The world record he can always attempt at different international meets. At the world championships, he does not want to finish off podium. However, a chip in a close battle, this is a tough one because it was work, wasn't it?
It was. It would certainly help him, though, as the three fighting for that bronze position, he's the heaviest, so that chip certainly would be beneficial and maybe worth the risk.
Wei Chen Wang, 205 kilos. 5 kilo jump from the second attempt. Well, Antoine Garcia going in for that chip, 6 kilos.
With a battle that tight, sometimes you have to take the leap of faith.
Yeah, you got Kwaku, Takayama, you got several competitors. Wang battling for this third squat. Ooh.
Great fight there. And 5 kilo personal best, should it be good? And it is. 3 white lights, great end to squats for him.
Next up, Yao Wei Yu, Chinese Taipei, 210 kilos. Amparo Diaz, get ready. Bar loaded, personal best attempt to 5.
You 210. 5 kilo jump for him.
And again, another 5 kilo personal best. Should he make this? Another very well-picked third attempt and a good lift.
New personal best. Next up, Ivan Campano Diaz. 220 looking to match his personal best. Determined squat now for the time of the year.
Ivan Campano, 220, 5 kilo jump. This will equal his personal best squat. Reigning world champion under heavy fire here from America's Michael Slavic. He's gonna need this. Oh yeah, that was
He is holding that crown tight to his head for as long as he can.
not without a fight, I'll tell you that.
It's a great third attempt. As we know, there is heavy fire coming in from Team USA.
And it didn't look like he's draining the tank. Obviously that was work, but he's got more there.
And as we know, Michael, yes, has a big deadlift, but so does Ivan.
Yeah, he'll be out deadlifted, but he'll be adding kilos onto that total come the deadlift event. Takayama, 225. Misses opener, got it on the second. Opting to move up 5 kilos from there. And 220, despite the fact that it was the weight he chose for an opening weight, moved, taking some work for the second attempt. So I like the 5 kilo jump for the third attempt. That, I was going to say, that looked a little high anyways, even if you got it.
Yeah, and I did think, and I was waiting till after he finished, you know, I did think that 5 kilos would be, if he got it, absolutely top end for the day, and I think perhaps, as we see there, it was over that.
The bar is loaded for USA.
Michael Slavic talking plenty of trash after he took the American 59 kilo title. Secured his spot for IPF Worlds, let everybody else know he's coming. Gave his intentions of claiming the throne. Stop him if you can.
And in looking at that open world record squat, we completely forgot Michael is a junior and is now going for the junior world record squat in his third attempt.
230 kilos. 225 is previous personal best.
Wow.
Oh gosh, and that, you know what? There was more there.
And it is a good lift, a new junior world squat record. And the thing is, you don't need to do more sometimes, you just need to do enough.
We talk about the world record, which, by the way, 59 kilo junior, sub-junior, 16 years old, Justin Wynn of USA unofficially broke it at American Nationals. So that 59 kilo class, extremely talented and stacked right now, but you don't necessarily need that open world record. More important is the open world championship, and that's what Michael's really eyeing. But so is Ivan Campano, and so are the rest of these lifters if someone drops the ball along the way. Franklin Leon, Ecuador, 230, misses on his second attempt due to depth. Strength was there, but the opener was a conversation whether or not it was at depth. The jury had to intervene to give it to him. Second one did look a little higher to me, and jury did not intervene on his behalf that time. What happens now?
It looks a little better to me. He's had the exact same 2-to-1 both times,
Yeah.
but this time, 3 white lights, a good lift, and a new M1 world record as well. So we might see a junior, masters, and open squat record broken in this one flight today.
Quite the spread.
Yeah, it's a royal flush, I heard.
Get out of the shower. We got a flush. 230. Kwaku. Miyako.
Putting himself in an extremely good spot to push for one of those podium positions.
The battle for the podium is going to be tight. He needs this third squat to keep those hopes alive. Oh. Representing again a 3 white lights. Nicely done. 241 open world record attempt for Antoine Garcia, grizzled veteran representing France, current European champion, former world champion, 6 kilos up, 235. We thought that's work, but in a battle to reach the podium, a chip is in play, and he might need it. After this squat, with his opening bench and opening deadlift, he'll already be at 601. Definitely more intense for this third attempt, Amelia.
Absolutely. You said 6 kilos would be a risk. Let's see if the risk that pays off.
That looks good. Oh! Nope, just too much.
And the question that Team France and Antoine had to ask was the 2.5 enough that's going to push the other lifters, or is the risk getting that chip more worth it? What do you think in the end there, Ryan?
I mean, obviously I got the benefit of hindsight right now. It was, look, it's easy to go back and say coulda, woulda, shoulda, but it is going to be so tight to get onto that platform, or that podium, or rather. 235 ends up being the biggest squat of the day in the 59 kilo class. Antoine Garcia missing the world record, but taking the world squat gold in the 59 kilo class. 230 for Kwaku and 230 for Michael Slavic. Only body weight spreading the last 3 lifts, because Franklin Leon, a master lifter, also hitting 230. Extremely tight 59 kilo competition. We're going to take a short break. Please do come back for the bench press as we continue the battle of the 59s. And we're back. IPF World Championships 59 kilo class as we take a look at the squats from earlier, 235. Antoine Garcia clinching the gold medal and precious kilos as he battles to make his way to the podium. But there's a threat in Kwaku, 230 kilos from the squat event, eyeing also a medal. Michael Slavic of USA 230 as well, eyeing the overall world championship. But Ivan Campano leaving with 220 kilos, matching his previous personal best. It's tight all around as we begin the bench press. This is a 2-flight class. Flight B up first. 100 kilos even. Jose Flores of New Zealand.
Bar suited, 100 kilos.
Opening very close to his personal best of 102.5. Pretty similar to his squat opener, a little slow on the way back up, but perfectly comfortable looking opening attempt.
Relatively close grip, no wrist wraps. That's a long way up. Take a look how close that grip is.
And when you see the minuscule slowdown there in his opener, that's where the much bigger slowdown will come in, I'm sure, in his third attempt on a close grip bench.
Sant'Angelo, 115, representing Italy. Nice opening bench.
And good lifts, 3 white lights. Yeah, very, very comfortable. Another lifter opening extremely close to their personal best. Just 2.5 kilos here on his opener.
And that's a little bit more of the grip expecting to see. Considerably wider. Ivan, 115. Ivan had a good squat event. Looking to carry that momentum here into the bench press. Nicely done.
3 white lights, a good lift. Yeah, and opposed to what we saw with Flores, absolutely max grip there on his bench.
Angel Cruz, opening with 120 kilos, representing Mexico. "22-year-old junior."
Three white lights, a good lift. No sort of thing to worry about initially there, no breakdown or issues with technicality, exactly where you want to be on your opening attempt. Move forward into the second, knowing you're doing everything right.
Jonas Madeira of Australia, 120 kilos as well. asking for the lift off. You see some of these lifters coming out, touching base, saying, all right, is it on 3? After the big breath. You want to work all that out ahead of time. Some lifters opting not for the lift off at all. What you lose in terms of your setup, you gain with consistency. It's going to feel like it didn't prep. Oh, a little bit of work for an opener. What do you think, Amelia?
Yeah, a little shaky there for his opening attempt. Have a look at that again in the replay, but it seems like he also thinks it did not go as well as he had hoped.
Yeah, he threw up his hands like, I don't know. His coach asked how to feel. He's like, ah.
Yeah, you can see his left elbow locks out a little later, so hopefully something he can sort out, but maybe a smaller jump than he expected to a second.
Ryo Imamura, 132.5, representing Japan.
Pretty heavy touch on the chest there, but still moved very well. But 2-1 a no lift. Yellow from the center and side referee, Ryan.
Take a look at this replay.
If you look at his feet, I believe the yellows were his feet touching actually under the bench.
Yeah. It's difficult to say if they were staggered and not touching, or if they're, because they did look staggered, but they could have been touching. Obviously, we are not on the platform like the refs. They got a much better view in Georgie. Jelesvili, 140. A miss on your opening bench, not where you want to be. Bench also far more technical of the lifts, a lot of more rooms for infractions, 3 commands.
And 2-1 a good lift for Georgie. A depth call from the far side referee, and that was something I was a little bit worried about. It's a very high arch, so we're looking for those elbows to be in line with the shoulder joint. And it seems good enough there to me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Kamal Ergin, 140 kilos for his opening bench.
A good lift. Again, another cool lifter getting a call for depth, this time from the center referee, which sometimes is a bit more worrying on bench. Have a look at that. Certainly wonky. I wonder if that counts as the depth not being too good, but I think he should be fine. I think perhaps slightly just not set up 100% straight.
As we move into the second round of bench, 102.5 for Jose Flores, 2.5 kilo jump. Somewhat conservative. You see the range of motion on this bench press.
That is a good lift, and again, similarly to his squat, the second looks slightly more comfortable than his opener. It's a little segmented on the way up, but it didn't slow down really.
And I do wonder about that close grip. He might feel stronger in that position. You can move the hands out to decrease the range of motion, but if you don't feel strong, might not be the payoff you want. 120. Santangelo of Italy.
still moving extremely well, particularly for a 2.5 kilo PB.
Let's equal it from the go. Same weight for your hands and bars loaded. And then Bruce, get ready.
Ivan had a great squat event. 120. Opened with his personal best. Hit a personal best squat. Having a phenomenal day. Representing Puerto Rico in the 59 kilo class.
Again, another extremely smooth personal best. 3 white lights, a good lift. I'd be surprised if we didn't see a big total PB from him today.
Angel Cruz, 122.5. 2.5 kilo jump. 2.5 kilos below his personal best.
Now, some people tend to prefer the much smaller jumps. Do you think that is that reason, Ryan, or do you think perhaps the opener just felt a little tough for him?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, especially in the 59 kilo class when it comes to bench press. With the lighter weight classes in the bench press event, you do tend to see smaller jumps. However, you're right. You might come in with a battle plan being much bigger jumps. Take your first opener, or your opener rather, and the discussion changes.
The thing is, if he's to make that a jump again, he matches his personal best on the international platform, so could definitely have been the plan in any case. We'll see.
Yeah, you never know. He's a junior too. They make progress. Jonas Madeira of Australia, 122.5. Sorry, 125. 122.5 is his previous personal best, so a little stutter halfway up.
It is a good lift and a personal best. 3 white lights. I can't imagine anything but 2.5 going on for that third.
So on his opener, he wasn't entirely sure. And he was indicating as he was leaving the platform, I don't know. I'm not sure if we're doing some lip reading and hand gestures. Same thing here, but he's hitting big, at least compared to historically speaking. I agree with you. 2.5 kilos by his bar speed, and he's not giving the coach a whole lot in terms of, I'm not sure. What do you think? As 132.5 for Rio, and Imamura of Japan missed this on his opener. He's got a hit here. He's got 2 more attempts, obviously, but bench press, so many possible infractions. The only lift of the 3 with 3 different commands. So many touch points from onto the platform to onto the bench. You got depth now. That looked good to me.
Yeah, certainly looked a lot better, but center referee still not quite happy, I imagine, with the foot position if we have a look at that in the replay. But currently on the board,
Yeah, much better.
yeah, he
I mean,
completely separated.
not
his feet.
not only much better. There was previously, they look like they were touching, now not even close. I'm not sure what the infraction was, but that still stood on the second, but 2-1 is all you need. Kamal Ergin, 145.
Another reason why making sure your opening attempt is something you're super comfortable with, because if you have to change your technique on the day, that can be very detrimental to the force you can put behind the lift.
Seen already, refs might ask you to rack and retake.
To one, a good lift. Just a depth call from that center referee. A little tougher there in his second. After a 5 kilo jump.
Yeah, that was some work. You saw those legs shaking he had to rev the engine a little for that second attempt. Georgi Jelesvili, 147.5, representing Georgia.
Just 5 kilos off the junior world record bench press here.
Only 20 years old.
Wow. He did get a depth corners opening attempt, this time a yellow from the far side referee. Perhaps if you have a look at that side angle, it could be some sort of lift. Oh, what do you think, Ryan?
Look good to me. As we take a look at how we stand so far after 2 rounds again. We also have 2 flights. Take all this with a grain of salt. Jose Flores, 105, 2.5 kilo jump. Brakes come on, but he's able to push through it. I saw just pausing. Yep, the refs agree. No down up.
And he gets that personal best, and you know, from what we thought was a slightly slow opener, he really managed to keep going. And wow, to keep going on that third attempt is quite something.
Showing some heart, unloading. It is a third attempt. You might as well leave it on the platform. Santangelo, 122.5. Two and a half kilos up from his second attempt. 2.5 kilos personal best if he can hit this. The Italians got a strong team this year, particularly on the women's side. From world champion Sarah Naldi, Corolla Gara, Chiara Bernardi, Annalisa. But the men's side's growing as well, and 2-1, it's good.
Yeah, there's a yellow from that center referee. Trying to spot the infraction here, but 2-1 on the board with that third attempt.
Ivan, 122.5, popular weight here. Looking to go 6 for 6. And that looked right on the money. He's happy. Ivan, PR in the squat, PR in the bench, hitting PRs all around at 44 years old. $125, Angel Cruz.
Looking to match his personal best here in his third and final attempt. Opting for another 2.5 kilo jump here. And we were discussing whether this was what we assume is the planned attempt. And like you said, in the 59 kilo class, that very much could be the case, to choose those smaller increments and just edge your way closer to a big bench.
We talked about the battles for gold, silver, bronze. But even collecting team points up and down the rankings, there's a difference between coming in 5th and 6th. And on a personal level, these lifters would love to say, I finished top 5, I finished top 10.
And I just think that yellow there was for his right hand not being completely closed, but the jury seemed happy enough to keep that as a good lift for him.
Jonas Madeira, 127.5. too much. Grabbing the right arm. Likely no worse for wear for the deadlift event.
Yeah, the coach just helping him his wrist strap off there, so perhaps a little bit of cramping, you know, with a big weight cut in the 59s.
Imamura, 132.5, had to take that twice. Moving up just 2.5 kilos, probably a good idea.
Especially with that change technique. You get 2 yellows on his opening attempt, 1 on his second, and let's see if we can follow that pattern and look for 3 white lights here on his third and final bench press attempt.
Looks like he's getting, oh. The
Yeah,
bar moved a while. I gotta see this infraction now.
And the center referee was indicating again his right hand, his left hand, you can see the thumbs not completely wrapped around the bar. That's what he's indicating that was for. But the jury seemed to think that the bar referee thought it was for the dip after the press command.
Yeah, so the thumbs I couldn't super see from that angle myself. I'm not on the platform though. That angle wasn't great to see the thumbs. The command, obviously, audibly, we couldn't hear. Replay didn't help. 147.5. 2.5 kilo jump. Kamal Ergen of Netherlands.
2.5 kilo personal best here for Ergen. Slow but steady. 2 to 1, a good lift. And he's got that red for every single attempt so far and been safe thus far. That'd be for elbow depth, but yeah, I think it's looked pretty much the same every attempt around.
World junior record attempt, the bench press, the bar is loaded.
Georgi Jelesvili, 155 for his third and final attempt. This is the last bench of Flight B, and we'll move directly into Flight A. No break. 7.5 kilo jump from his second attempt. 2.5 kilo personal best.
That is a new junior world record in the first group of lifters with that final bench of 155 kilos. He does get a yellow again, and I'm a little bit more worried for it this time.
Yeah, I see on the replay, we see the butt coming up. The jury's reviewing it, and we'll see what they say as we take a look at how the bench stands after the first round.
And I've got to say, looking at the board with the opening attempts for the A flight, I could be wrong, but it looks like that Slavic has dramatically dropped his bench press attempt, which will now on prognosis put him in second overall.
You 110, and I'm just trying to find Slavic here. There we are. Thank you, Amelia. 115. No, okay.
Okay. Maybe Ivan put his up, but the prognosis has certainly jumped around since we last saw it.
Slavic definitely moved it, and his prognosis has definitely dropped, but he's opening with 275 on deadlifts. We've seen him hit 301. He could take, obviously with deadlifts, you can take huge jumps. Let's see how his opener moves here. Well, that's why you see these kind of jumps when you look at the forecast. Sometimes it tells you lies. Slavic, 115. He's previously hit 125, so this isn't a departure of what we've seen in the past. Opener, moved well enough.
He hangs around on the platform to ask the referee what that was for, and perhaps that drew a little bit of attention to it. It wasn't for glutes, it was for that heaving motion at the bottom, a slightly newer redefinition of the rules. And the jury are now discussing it.
Franklin Leon, 125. Oh, jury has
jury.
overruled it, and this is definitely going to impact the overall battle because Slavic now forced to decide, do we retake an opening weight or do we move up regardless, which is very risky. Ooh, things are getting interesting. 125, Franklin Leon. That was smooth. And you know, Ivan Campano and Team Spain leaning in. If you're looking at the forecast, Slavic would have been 620. That takes all completed lifts and your opening bench, opening dead. Ivan Campano would be 627.5. That's a 7.5 kilo spread between them, with Slavic having the bigger deadlift. So we're neck and neck, but now Slavic got to retake. Well, I say retake. He's opted to move up 7.5 kilos regardless on his bench press. Yikes.
Yeah.
That's bold.
That was his planned second because that was what they put in before they knew that the attempt was overruled.
You lose your opener on the technicality. 122.5 is top end bench press territory for him, so you miss that on strength. I don't even want to go there right now, but this is very interesting. 127 for Wang. Holy smokes, the drama coming early in the 59 kilo class. You know, they say of the three lifts, bench press the one, the mildest of the three. Well, not for these gentlemen. Things are getting spicy.
Yeah, absolutely. And a long day ahead of them. You cannot choose your winner from squats.
Kweku. Nyarko, 130. Kweku in the hunt for a medal in a class that seems wide open all of a sudden. Slavic moving down from 122 to 120 on his second attempt. Still, while 2.5 kilos lighter, and that makes a big difference in the bench press for the 59 kilo class, they're still moving up 5 kilos from the opener. The same risk is there where 115 you miss on the technicality. 120, it could be strength. You never know.
Yeah. Get another technical call here. Kweku. Yellow from the center referee.
I'm not too sure. Antoine Garcia, 130 kilos for his opening bench. He's hit 140. And my goodness, Amelia, the drama and excitement already here. We knew it was going to be a close battle. You can't miss is what they said in the Americans. Missed, but moving up regardless. And if you miss a lift, move up regardless and hit, it's as though on your total you never missed.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like the US have amended it to 120, not 122.5 now, like you said. And so it certainly is going to be very interesting to see the play they go from there. But it's close, like you said.
Takayama, 135.
White lights, a good lift. World record bench is 171. I don't think we'll see anybody take a stab at that today, but does not mean the kilos aren't important. My oh my, more than ever right now.
Yeah, excellent segue for our next lifter, Ivan. 145. He's got the advantage in the bench press, and he's going to get outpulled. So every kilo is going to count here in the bench press event. opening with 145. Team Spain saw what happened to Michael Slavic in the opening bench. For Slavic, even if he hits his second bench, to have gone down 2.5 kilos. That is
Wow.
oh my God. That was a long press command.
What happened there? Okay, we're having a look at the discussion the jury's having with the coach. And it looks like he's probably going to get a reattempt.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, you don't get your energy back. But
And again, another spanner in the works here. And he's going to have a few minutes, I think, before to give him.
yo, this is again. Look at you have what you think the bench press is going to go, and this is just opening bench. Of all the lifts, you think no news really, no major fireworks, no major discussion points. Opening bench of all. Look what we got.
And not only, obviously, is this affecting Campano Diaz, he has 4 minutes where he can take the bench press within now. But 2 lifters after Ivan is meant to be Slavic. So now, not only did he expect to be benching and trying to get a bench on the board in 2 minutes' time, he now has to wait 6 minutes more until he can reattempt and try and get a bench on the board. What do you make of that?
This is an entirely different ball game than we thought we were going to get. And Michael Slavic coming down from his battle plan, at least initially for his second attempt of 122.5, 2.5 kilos. We'll see how that impacts the overall. And then certainly, obviously, if Slavic doesn't get his second attempt, he doesn't have his opener in his back pocket for reassurance. Campano, while he gets to retake his opening 145, you're not anticipating benching 4 times. Now, I realize he didn't have the pressing portion, but nevertheless, it is extra energy. How this impacts the bigger picture, I'm not entirely sure. Very close. And then, of course, all the other contenders that are vying for a podium. It's a lot. It's a lot to digest. Again, you come to the IPF World Championships, you got to be able to adapt. Things happen on the fly. This is why your opening lifts need to be something that you could take. You could take again if you had to. If you had to re-rack, you could take it. If the press command comes late, you got to be able to hold it on your chest. You don't know. You don't want to go too heavy on your opening bench, even if you're a seasoned veteran like Ivan Campano is.
Yeah, and you've got to think, not just physically this is making difference. Mentally now, Ivan waiting in the wings, Slavic waiting in the wings, you know, they now have time to process really what's going on at the moment. You know, they're not just in the flow of the competition. It's slowed down, it's stopped, and that could be detrimental to some lifters.
If I'm thinking about this, Ivan's probably thinking, I hit 145 all day, every day, no worries. If anyone's got something to think about, Michael Slavic moving on to his second attempt without his opener in his back pocket, and while 120 should be in his wheelhouse, it's still 120 that he's got to hit and not 115 to get himself on the board altogether. Now that reality might be setting in.
Yeah, and you say, you know, 120 should be comfortable, and it should be. Like you said, it's gone up. But that's still 5 kilos below his personal best, and that's just a stone's throw away, really. And
I mean, the plan wasn't, let's open with 120. Let's gamble with, if I don't get 120, I'm not on the board. They aren't opening with 120. This is in effect like you are. You don't have an opener on the board. You're not free if you miss your second. It is more pressure. And to your point, if it's a quick rotating, you don't got a lot of time to think about that, whatever, you're shooting from the hip. Now, plenty of time to think about that. This wasn't the script. This is Michael Slavic's first world championship in the open, and here we are.
And it looks like Ivan is ready to come out to reattempt that 145. Still not 100% sure about what happened. We'll find out more information on that. But here he goes to reattempt it and hopefully get on that board and let the battle commence. Certainly not what we expected.
you go. All's well that ends well.
2-1, a good lift on the board with just one yellow infraction from the far side. The far side referee who gave the yellow to Sladik and now the yellow to Campano Diaz for the same reason apparently. So jury are looking at it. And could he be in a similar boat? They seem happy with it.
Look at Antoine Garcia so far on the subtotal ahead. Not a major surprise that Antoine's got a massive squat, obviously attempting the world record, missing that, but leaving with the gold. Ivan Campano, then Kwaku, and Slavic not yet having a bench to add to his subtotal, but he's got that deadlift, which is a major eraser of all previous mistakes. You, 115, and it's good. 3 white lights. Slavic, 120 kilos, and talk about a pivotal lift. He answers the adversity, 3 white lights, and look at, if he needed a gut check for his first appearance at IPF Open World Championship, there it is. You miss a lift. Do you have the gusto to move up regardless and keep pace? Because the Americans could have retook 115, but now you have to either take a huge jump to your planned third, and that definitely you'll feel that in the bench press, especially in the 59 kilo class, or do you tell yourself, listen, we have to keep pace? Are we here? It's all or nothing? Is that the conversation we're having? And for a guy like Michael Slavic, it's all or nothing. It's either I come in first or I come in last. 132 and a half. Wei Chen Wang moving up 5 kilos from his opener, and the drama continues. Interesting, Amelia.
A little tough there for a second attempt, and of course bench is super technical. Sometimes we see lifters fail an attempt in that way, change something technically and come back and get it, but in a lot of cases it's also a strength issue.
$132.5, Franklin Leon, Ecuador. Two to one, it's good. And looking at the forecast, Ivan Campano, 632.5. Michael Slavic, 630. We promised a neck-and-neck tight battle, and it has been. With plenty of discussion points already. 137.5 for Kwaku. Finds himself in a battle. Talking about in the projected for a possible podium finish. He's at 605, but Antoine Garcia, 602.5. It is so tight in the 59 kilo class. Still a lot could happen.
And a good lift, 3 white lights. Yeah, like you said, it was close already at the beginning, but as we move through the competition, it is getting closer and closer, not just between first and second, but third, fourth, and fifth, all vying for that podium position. No one really can afford to slip up now.
And to your point, you can't afford to slip up. Michael Slavic misses opener, and they had, because they they couldn't retake that weight. You have to move forward as though you didn't miss. That's the type of pressure that these guys are under if they're going to podium finish. Garcia, 137.5. Took gold in the squat event.
Comfortable looking second there for Garcia, and a good lift. 3 white lights. If Ivan makes his second bench and we see Michael make his third bench, Ivan is still ahead going into deadlifts by 2.5 kilos, even without his third bench on the board.
However, Slavic with that massive deadlift, you got to hit though. So Campano and the Spaniards want to force Slavic to load up more than he can. Previously back home, he's hit 301. Who knows what he's got on the day as Takayama of Japan, 140.
And 2 to 1, a no lift. A depth call from the center referee and a yellow from the side. Yeah, his hips are at a very sharp angle. It's really hard to tell if...
Yeah, this angle, we can't really see it, but on the platform, they probably got a better view. Ivan Campano, 150. Previous best is 152.5.
This will be very telling as well. Like you said, they're going to want to push Slavic as much as they can to get him to load on deadlifts. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets this, then how easy it is and what he can put on that third potentially. I think it might be a match personal best.
Yeah, I was about to say, I would look to match the personal best.
It's a good second attempt, and he's putting himself in as good a position as he could to fight to keep that crown on his head.
Campano, and this is the projected 632, Slavic 630, and then look at the bronze medal positioning with 607 and 605. So tight for the World Championship, so tight to get on the podium at all. Battles everywhere. And then even 595, to tell you the truth, not out of the conversation. 15 that long pass are the days of the 59 kilo class being one lifter, Fedoshenko, and then the others. And 120 for you.
Shakes on the way up, but manages to keep the bar moving, and it is a good lift and a 2.5 kilo personal best.
Slavic, 125. He's hit this before. You got to think coming into this, expectations on his behalf was let's hit personal best across the board, build a massive total. But on the day, things change. And as long as he leaves with the World Championship, that's really the biggest goal, the number one priority. Personal bests. And even the overall world record, although that was the discussion coming in, all secondary, and Slavic
Makes good work of that third attempt.
you know what, 2020 hindsight, probably had 2.5 kilos there. But you know what, get the kilos.
Yeah, and the thing is, the initial plan for the second jump was 122, so I imagine 127, maybe 130 was that third.
Would have been, yeah.
But I think even from before they started benching, we think that they brought the attempt opener down, so.
You know what, he needs these kilos. This is a tight battle. Ivan has not missed. 132.5 for Weichen Wang. Now Slavic pulls sumo, and when you're going at top end, which he's probably going to be forced to do, no lift here, which he's probably going to be forced to do, this is where it becomes a little 50-50. We've seen with sumo pullers, when it's top end, do you rock forward and back? He also trains with straps, and some people will point to, well, his grip give away. Did not give away 301 back in America. This is a different ball game, having traveled, etc. But that final pull, it's going to be 50-50. It's going to be heavy. And to force it to be as heavy as possible, Ivan Campano will attempt 152.5 on his third and final bench, 2.5 kilo jump from his second, which we thought was probably going to be the choice. But first, 135, Franklin Leon of Ecuador. Nicely done.
Ooh, 2-1, no lift. Leon, have a look at the replay. Gets 2 blues. And the center and side referee.
Was there down up?
I'm not sure if it was potentially for the elbows not being knocked out, but it's hard to say. They made no indication of what the infraction was for.
140, Kweku, Niarco, Ghana, 2.5 kilo jump, 2.5 kilo personal best. Should he hit it? And 2.5 kilos ahead on the forecast of Antoine Garcia for that bronze medal.
And 2-1, a good lift. The blue from the center referee, I imagine, for what they would have seen as downwards movement. Let's have a look at the bar here to see if we can catch that. The jury will be watching as well.
I saw a pause. I didn't see it down up. Garcia, 2.5 kilo jump. This is equaling his previous personal best. He attempted that world record in the squat event, and it was a discussion: should he go for it? Should he just try to grab some kilos? And hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him, because this is so close to get onto the podium.
It's a big fight, and it looks like it was the perfect number. A little worried they were overzealous there.
Look at France, needed that lift, and he knew he needed it as well. It's one thing to miss your third squat going for a world record. If he missed that third bench press, the conversation for a podium finish might have been over, but his hopes are still alive, and the battle continues. 140 once again for Takayama.
Our penultimate lifter out, not good enough. A bench podium position, gold and bronze for bench, being held by members of the B group currently, and it will remain that way.
Oh,
Wow, and I did not expect to see that after what looked like a very quick descent to his chest. Unfortunately, a no lift, but did very well just to get that up.
definitely a moral victory. Let me see. Yeah, the butt might have came up, to be honest. From this angle, it looks like the butt might be sky high right now. And then it, yeah, that, I mean, that's hard to tell. Ivan Campano, 152.5. He's hit this before, but never in a battle this close against a gentleman like Michael Slavic. And just when he needs it the most, does it pass?
The weight
Oh my
is
gosh,
long.
the weight is crazy. This is crazy. You gotta let him know, because this is a pivotal 2.5 kilos, and he knows it.
That's 3 reds. That's a no lift for Campano Diaz.
3 reds means there's going to be no conversation with the jury. You need at least 1 white to approach them. And this is how the bench ended off, with Gels Vili of Georgia, 155, Campano, 150, and Kamal, 147.5. But the bigger picture here, as we look at the projected, Ivan 6'3", 2.5, Slavic 630, and then for the battle for the only 2.5 kilos separating them, and battle for the bronze and onto the podium, another 2.5 kilo spread, 607.5 for Kwaku and 605 for Antoine. Very, very close battles for gold, and then a close battle to get onto the podium. 2.5 kilos, Amelia. Slavic, a monster puller, but can Ivan force Slavic and the Americans to load up more than he can handle on the day? We're going to take a short break. You do not want to miss this. Please do rejoin us as we continue the Battle of the 59s. Welcome back to the IPF World Championships here live in Druskininkai, Lithuania. I am Ryan Six-Pack Lapadat, accompanied in the booth with none other than Amelia Potter. In Amelia, we have the battle of the 59 kilo class, heavily hyped coming in. A lot of trash talk back and forth, if I'm honest, between America's Michael Slavic and defending world champion Ivan Campano. Both of these gentlemen toe to toe in the squat and the bench press. As we take a look at the forecast, we thought it'd be tight. Only 2.5 kilos separate them in the projected. And then as we move slightly down, Kwaku and Antoine Garcia, just 2.5 kilos separate them to battle onto the podium for a bronze medal.
It is going to be a fight all the way until the end. We've already seen record attempts in every discipline so far. Let's see what we can pick up here in the deadlifts.
Georgi Jelesvili of Georgia. 190 kilos.
Walked away with a new junior world bench press record in that last flight.
59s split into two different flights. This is flight B. We'll take no break. After flight B takes all three of their attempts, we'll move directly into flight A. And we've already seen from flight B some of these gentlemen grabbing medals in the individual events. So you're not going to want to miss any of this. Slavic and Team USA changed their bench press opener. 275 remains the deadlift opener. No change there.
Still got a little bit of time to change that, but
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we say with bated breath, who knows? 205 for Ivan Cancel of Puerto Rico.
and that is a good lift. Secures his total and a 6 kilo total PB already.
Kamal Ergin, 205. Nice opening pull. And as these lifters hit their opening deadlifts, they've secured their total, no longer in danger of bombing out, and can really start taking some big jumps. So some of these forecasts, they can mislead you. Some people purposely open a lot lighter than a regular opener because it's the World Championships. You just want to take your total.
And that's it. You just want to secure that total before anything else, before pushing any big numbers.
At the national team level, when you're a national team coach, your top 5 lifters contribute to your national team points, so they also are under pressure. You don't want anyone bombing in any meet, but to bomb at a world championship. Nice opening pull for Team New Zealand.
And to be disqualified on deadlifts feels particularly harsh. You know, you got all the way to the end of the day.
Angel Cruz, 220. Some of these lifters, like Flores of New Zealand, Cruz of Mexico, big travels to get here to Lithuania.
Cruz actually dropped his opening attempt. His coach, he's being called back, I think, saying his socks aren't long enough. He's not wearing deadlift socks, so he's gonna time out by the looks of things.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be missing, well, not missing, but not having an opening pole. I was talking about not trying to on purpose, didn't know this was going to happen, but when you don't have your total secured, which Cruz doesn't, now has to move on to his second attempt. More than that, it's got to locate some deadlift socks in time.
Yeah, and already after dropping that opening attempt, not the start he would have wanted, and we just spoke about how deadlift is not really where you want to make that slip up. Anywhere really, but particularly deadlift.
And now securing the total, still hangs over his head, looming as he's in the back, him and his team trying to search and locate some deadlift socks. Looking for a friendly face in the warm-up room. Who brought an extra pair of socks? Let me see where your ranking is. Are we vying for the same place? Italy's Centingello, 222.5.
Very comfortable opener there.
And that is where you expect your opener to be. Well, Amelia, listen. When it comes to opening lifts in the bench press session, historically speaking, relatively mild. Not the case here in the Battle of the 59 so far. Whether it was bench, now deadlift, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, they certainly kept us on our toes. Even the squat wasn't exactly smooth sailing for every lifter.
Jonas, the cool dude, sunglasses right up to the very end there, gets removed. 225. We're indoors. I like it. Get in the zone, get in the vibe.
Wow.
Snappy.
That is exactly what you want to see from an opening attempt.
Next up,
Imamura, 225.
Ten kilos below his personal best, just 15 off his total PB.
Two to one, it's good, and he's on the board.
Just a red there from the left side referee. Not quite happy with that finish lockout position.
I think we're on the wrong side to really investigate that. Looks good from this angle. Georgi Jelasvili, 205 as we enter into the second round of polls for Flight B of the 59s.
Looking for a 15 kilo jump here. Just 5 kilos off his personal best on deadlift. Progressing at an alarming rate, which we expect to see here from juniors a lot of the time. Certainly slowed down, but 3 white lights, and he keeps adding kilos to that total.
Now, let's take a look at this replay. I agree. Slow down at the end. He pulls his chest all the way through, but as it gets past the... Well, you know, it looked a little better at the slow-mo replay. Ivan, 212.5.
This will be a 1 kilo deadlift personal best. I imagine a Puerto Rican national record is looking to beat here at the Open World Championships, and a 7.5 kilo total PB already here in his second attempt.
Three bites. Kamal Ergin, 215.
$10-kilo jump for another personal best here of 10 kilos on both deadlift and total. Just into the opens, age 24, so last year as a junior was last year. To 1, a good lift, very smooth second attempt, very controlled the whole way.
I think the one read, it appeared as though he started coming down just as he got the down command.
Yeah, center referee who gives the down command happy enough that he met it correctly though, so jury happy with that also.
Angel Cruz, 220. Didn't have deadlift socks, has them now. Wonder where they came from. I'm gonna check my bag later. Nicely done.
And that's got to sting a little bit because, you know, there was no real technical issue. It was just, you know, the coach shrugs going off like it's one of those things that happen, but an avoidable issue, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, it's not one of those, sort of one of those things that you wake up with the wrong pair of socks on.
Yeah. Glued to him.
That's it. Yeah.
But hopefully he can make up some ground with that final attempt.
Jose Flores, 225, 10-kilo jump, representing New Zealand. Oh, that was pretty slow for a second attempt, Amelia.
Yeah, I was wondering if we were having some Wi-Fi issues here, but it was just the speed that it was moving at. Look at that. I mean, there was no real breakdown. You don't see him really start to shake. It's just super slow, but you've got to think they're going to take a conservative jump, unless he does have a huge grind style final pull in him.
It's conventional, so he's in a position to grind. Because his deadlift, I'm thinking around 5 kilos. Santangelo, 235 for Team Italy.
12.5-kilo jump here, looking for a 5-kilo personal best on deadlift and 2.5 on his total.
Oh, a little bobble there.
Puts it down extremely quickly. Yeah. Let's have a look at that again in the replay.
And this is what I was talking about with sumo pulls. Because your feet are spread, balance can be an issue. You get a little bobble, and
Yeah.
it's not going to work for you.
Well, I think he just also couldn't hold on to it long enough.
Yeah.
The yellows, I think, just put it down too soon.
Couple issues happening. One might lead to another. A little bobble will loosen up the grip on you. Imamura, 240.
Ooh, and there's a grip issue, unfortunately, for Imamura.
As he looks at his hand, all is well unless skin tears. He's got a hook grip, and that's where if you get a tear along the thumb line, not sure if that's what happened. He does take a look at his hands.
Yeah, that left hand. The left hand's the one that went first. He looked at his right hand as he lost the grip.
Does a quick count of the fingers. He's still got 4. Jonas Madeira, 242.5. And a thumb, Amelia.
Ah, okay. I was
And a
worried
thumb.
we're going to have to do some
Nope.
anatomy lessons after
No,
class.
no. Sit me down later. Ryan, count the 5 for me. And this is half a kilo from his personal best, but moves quick.
That is a beautiful looking second attempt for Madeira. And caps off the second round pretty nicely with that.
Quick beak as it stands so far with the deadlifts, but a lot more pulling left to go. Bit of a picture on the projected. Again, we still got another flight. This is flight B. And 212.5 for the young Georgian, Georgi Jelasvili. Slow and steady. Locks it out, 3 white lights.
Great end to the day for the Georgian lifter.
Ivan, 217.5 to finish his day. 5 kilo personal best if he hits this. That would be a personal best in squat, bench, and deadlift at 44 years old. There it is. Judges give it to him 2-1. Ivan, phenomenal day. And he's happy. Kamal Ergin, 220.
The current personal best on deadlift of 215, which he hit on his second attempt, looking to further that and his total PB by 5 kilos each.
Slipping out of his left hand.
As you said perfectly there, Ryan, just issues with grip there. I think just struggled to get to that lockout position before it started to go, and really there's nothing you can do if that grip is slipping away from you.
Yeah, as soon as that grip started going, knees unlocked. And it unraveled from there. 227.5 for Jose Flores of New Zealand. Conservative 2.5 kilo jump. We were wondering where he'd go from his second attempt. I said maybe 5. He's going 2.5. What do you think, Amelia?
I mean, the 225 was extremely slow, and I don't expect this one to speed up too much more. So if they're just looking for that round 500 kilo total, which this would give him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Slow down, but he sticks with it.
And that is a grinder. Not a single kilo did he have more. 3 white lights. Talk about emptying the tank. Take a look at this final pull.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. Even had Austin Perkins on his feet cheering for that grind.
It's Austin is here. Santangelo, 235, missed it on his second, retaking it for his third.
Yeah, just couldn't hold on to it. Had that bubble that you said. Struggled to hold on to it at the top there. Let's see if he can't fix that up here with the same weight on the bar. This would be for a personal best in both deadlift and total. It looks better this time. Is it good enough?
I think so. No. Okay.
And cannot be contested. 3 reds. He gets blues from all referees. We'll have a look at that again in the replay. A blue could be a whole bunch of things here.
I thought it was good myself. It is what it is. Doubling back to the previous conversation about Michael Slavic and his opener, America opts to move up 2.5 kilos for that opener. And in the projected, dead even with Ivan and Mike, 632.5.
And on that, just in the other battle that we're going to see for podium, it looks like Garcia also has chosen to move up his deadlift opener as well.
Yeah, so his projected is 612.5, where Kwaku is still 607.5. And good lift there, 240 for Angel Cruz. Look, it's all great. You're going to move up your opener. It's where you leave off with a successful lift that's going to get you that medal. Attempt change.
And we've seen an attempt change coming, just as you've said. Looking to who that may belong to.
Is Imamura?
Is Madeira, who dropped his deadlift from 260 to 255. But first, as you said, Imamura will come out to retake.
Yeah, 240. Missed this on the second. Rio retaking it. Not on the day.
Yeah, just could not get that off the ground.
And if it comes down to this, Michael Slavic does weigh less than Ivan Campano. So although on the projector they're tied with 632.5, tie would go to the lighter man, and that would be Michael Slavic.
And I believe that Jonas Madeira looked to drop that final deadlift to try and secure that 255 for a potential deadlift bronze, but it's going to be a hard gig with a 277.5, 262.5 and 252.5 opener in the A group, but it'll be a big strong deadlift to end on, and it'll be a 12 kilo personal best at that. An Australian national record, I'm sure.
Yeah, he would need some misses in flight A, but not out of the question. He's got to do his part first, and looks like he has.
It's a lovely third attempt, and I'm sure the Australian record was yours and mine, and he could live.
Well, he's got a cramp, but he's still happy.
He's cramping, but being polite is more important.
I thought he was dancing for a hot minute there, and it turns out it's just a cramp. I dance the same way sometimes.
I've seen.
Like I got 2 left feet, that's right.
Wow, and heading into that A group. Look at that, Ryan.
Very, very close. Tie breaker going to Slavic due to body weight. That might be a conversation later. Opening with 277.5. How far can Ivan and Team Spain push Slavic and force him to load on that final pull? You're almost guaranteed it's going to end up there. And then, of course, Kwaku and Garcia battling for bronze. 220, Franklin Leon.
Lovely, easy opener there. Exactly what you want to see. Secures his total.
225 on the weight check right now. Chinese side there. Yeah, the students are ready.
And I'm sure not what he's looking at, but 25 kilos below the M1 world record on deadlift.
Wei Chen Wang, 225 for his opening pull. Nice, smooth, easy opener.
10 more kilos from South Korea, Japan. Proper Yako, get ready.
Very interested to see how the battle for first and the battle for third is going to pan out, and I imagine the opening attempts can be not extremely but quite telling on where we're headed with that.
Takayama, 235. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Will there be room to grow? Everyone's going to lean in and analyze. You know, Team USA and Team Spain are going to look at the opposing party's opening pulls. Same with Ghana and France.
Interestingly enough, you can see him wearing one wrist strap here. Sometimes it helps a little bit with grip.
Sometimes it just looks cool.
3 white lights, a good lift.
Kwaku, 237 and a half.
Trying to stay as close as he can to Garcia in that battle for podium. Still relatively close right now, but with Garcia upping his opening attempt, the gap separates slightly.
Wow, okay. So put a pin in that and keep that in mind. When Garcia comes up for his swing at 237 and a half himself. Because Kwaku for sure has a lot more.
Yeah, and their known top end on deadlift is very similar. Kwaku 255 and Garcia with 257.5. So very interesting to see where they'll push each other here.
I mean, it's so close.
Here we go, the bar is loaded for Koryasa.
Wow, I mean, they're both so smooth. They both have a lot more there. You really can't call it. Take a look at this. Yeah. Still too early. The war wages on 252.5 for you. He's previously hit 262.5.
Already this would be a 12.5 kilo PB on his total, giving him 570.
Yeah, Yahweh would be 582.5 off of his opening pull. And again, Wasn't long ago, 600 and up was a relatively big deal in this weight class. We'll have several lifters end up over 600.
Next up, for 262.5, the reigning world champion. Will represent Michael Savage of the USA.
Returning world champion, defending world champion, Ivan Campano, opening with 262.5.
And this is only 7.5 kilos below his personal best on his opener, and the fact that he was current reigning world champion shows he is having to push so close to his best ever on his openers just to keep pace in this fight.
Yeah, he's never, oh my gosh,
Wow.
there's a lot more there too. And he needs it, because I was just about to say, he's never had to face Michael Slavic, who's up next.
And some athletes really do thrive in prep under the pressure, knowing they're going to have someone they're going head-to-head with, and it looks like that might be the case here for Campano Diaz.
277.5.
And this would be for a world junior total record already on his opening attempt.
The bar is loaded.
Currently standing 623. So we'll give him 632.5 on his opening deadlift.
Once Mike hits this, he's in first place. 2 more rounds of deadlifts to go. He'll have to try to maintain that position. But it's enviable. He's got the biggest deadlift. Oh, nice. And there's plenty more there, as we would expect.
Yeah, absolutely. Same with Campano Diaz, both extremely comfortable opening attempts. Now, is it a case of who pushes who too far, or is there a technical foul? It really is going to be neck and neck until that final call.
So, Campano needs to load and force Slavic's hand. Unfortunately for Spain, he's got to go first. Sorry, Mealy, do you see something?
Yeah, it looks like Mike Slavic has, on his second attempt, put in 303
Oh
for
my
the
gosh, he
world
has.
record.
Oh my
So
God.
already jumping
Oh
a
my-
huge amount.
oh
Is that
my-
risky?
Well, for sure. And like, he's never pulled that much before. Yikes, on his second already here. 232.5, Franklin Leon of Ecuador. Holy moly. And this is where the wheels can fall off if you get too bold. We'll see.
It moved well.
Holy smokes, 303 on your second attempt. I mean, if he hits it, he's at 658 total and an amazing position. But if he misses it,
That is a good lift. Yeah, if he misses it, then he's going to have to reattempt.
I mean,
world
632 and a half
record,
is
so-
not going to be enough. Obviously, Ivan has to hit his second attempt, because if everything stops right there in terms of their totals, Slavic has the lead due to body weight, and we're going to come down to body weight. But frig, this is bold. This is and Mike is bold.
Yeah.
If you follow him online,
We'll have to see
He's
how
not
that pans
tame.
out.
237 and a half, Wei Chen Wang. Just how bold is Slavic? Well, he's famous for having said, I came down from the 66 kilo class to make the 59 kilo class entertaining, to give you guys something to talk about. You're welcome.
Well, we're certainly talking.
Yeah, he's got everybody talking. You want drama? You want excitement? He said, I'm here to bring it, and he has already. Takayama, 245.
Slow off of the floor and seems to be struggling with that lockout as well.
Yeah,
Holds
yeah.
onto it until he is
Till he
told to put it
couldn't.
down, yeah. And he does get a white from the center referee, but the left side referee not happy with the lockout. The blue from the right-hand side.
And you almost wonder if that one wrist wrap is catching on his singlet a little bit, creating some more friction on the right side. Appeared like that. Kwaku Niarko, 252.5. Sorry, Amelia, you're about to say something.
No, just it's a tough-looking second attempt anyway, so to have to come back for that for Takayama will be difficult as well, but we'll see.
Should he hit it, he'll end off with 600 kilos. And Kwaku looking to hit this and push his total to 622.5, which will temporarily move him ahead of Garcia in the battle for bronze.
A little tough off the floor there. I'm wondering if the bar rolled a little bit. I want to see that again in the replay, but it is a good lift, and I'm sure they're feeling somewhat pressured by Team France and Garcia.
I agree, it looked tough. Pay attention to that right side. The hand, when you have a mixed grip, tends to open up a bit. I'm not sure how much more he has in him, but if temporarily has moved into third place, forcing Garcia to have to hit this 252.5. It'll move Garcia to 627.5 and reclaim third place position with one more round of deadlifts to go. Back and forth action. Look relatively comfortable. And looking at the scoreboard, Gana and Kwaku putting in a third attempt, 257.5, move his total to 627.5, which would equal Garcia. Kwaku, being the lighter lifter, would break that tie and he'd end up on the podium. So he's going to force Garcia to have to hit his third attempt. It's going to come down to the final pulls for bronze. 262.5.
This would give him a matched personal best on deadlift and a 10 kilo PB on his total. Should he make this second attempt?
Now, if you ends up over 600 kilos, that's 759s, 600 and up. The division is moving fast.
Yeah, again, it wasn't so long ago that the 59 kilo class was one of those weight categories that had a clear winner and not so many people falling behind. But here we are with battles on battles.
Those days are long gone. 277.5 for Ivan. 7.5 kilo personal best if he can hit it. This will move his total to 647.5.
And he's going to need to make this look more than convincing. And
that was, wow! He has a lot more there. And Michael Slavic needs to hit his second attempt.
And that was a total larger than what he became world champion with last year on his second attempt. But he is not safe with that crown yet. There is a big risk coming up, but if the reward pays off for Team USA, then they could just be unbeatable.
So Slavic with 303.5 will end up with 658, but Campano, who's got a lot more in the tank, just loaded up 690, pushing his total to 660. So even if Mike hits this, he's not out of the woods.
Yeah.
He'll have to hit his third. Pay attention, 303 is already a personal best for Mike. Ivan and Team Spain are going to force him for his last pull, and this should be top end already. This is so close.
This is absolutely insane.
That 277 was pivotal, I'm telling you.
This is for a world record. Junior deadlift, junior total, and more importantly, open deadlift record attempt on his second, 303. Wow,
And-
look at that.
Yeah, it was smooth. There's more there. How much more?
Yeah, because as you mentioned before, Campano Diaz, should he get that 290, Slavic would have to pull 305 to match at a lighter body weight.
And look, at Mike has hit 301 before. How many times in his life has he gone over 300 kilos twice in the same day? He might have to today.
And that is a big ask. He seemed a little tentative setting up for that, but when
He
it
did.
moved, it moved.
It's just, here's the thing, like, it's an all or nothing. It's not like he's set up where he's going to be able to grind a whole hell of a lot with that deadlift style. This is can't miss 59 kilo action.
It is, as we said from the start, going to come right the way down to the end.
All the, for the entire podium.
Absolutely, it is so exciting.
242.5, Franklin Leon, Ecuador. Oh my gosh, well, it's got to be a placeholder. 315 for Michael Slavic. Now, obviously, if Ivan Campano misses, he's free to take any kind of crazy swing he wants. But expect that the drop if Campano hits. Started coming out of his hands at the top.
Yeah, and I was a little worried watching it live about his end position. His underhand, the shoulder was quite far forward. You can see here on our left side, his right.
Yeah, it's it was never fully locked, and it does not pass as 245. Once again for Takayama. Final pull. This would give him 600 kilos. Oh, I think that was the attempt right there. Too much on the day. He's a stitch. They're going to want to get behind him, those spotters and loaders.
Yeah, just too much on the day, unfortunately.
250 now. Wei Chen Wang. 12.5 kilo jump.
Should give him a 12.5 kilo personal best on deadlift and 5 on total. But unfortunately, too heavy for today.
These gentlemen reaching and overreaching as they jockey for position in the 59 kilo class. 257.5 now being loaded for Kwaku. This will move him to a 627.5 kilo total and bronze medal position ahead of Garcia in Team France on body weight. He's got to hit this and force Garcia's hand.
Second attempt starting to look a little bit tougher. This is 5 kilos on top of that, and it'll be an all-time personal best. As you said, to try and push Garcia to load a little bit more on that third attempt.
Oh, tough to the knees. He refuses to wilt.
He did not let that bar stop. 3 white lights, a good lift, and pushes the hand of Team France. Could he be the young man to knock Antoine Garcia off of the podium?
And that's a rather large opponent to knock off the podium. Again, Garcia, former world champion, reigning European champion, and all-time great in the 59 kilo class, but Garcia has an opportunity to respond. 5 kilo jump. He's hit this before. He needs to hit this again. What a sensational battle in the 59s.
5 more kilos away from the finish. Once again at the World Championship. To have one to resume.
This will give Garcia 632.5. He hits and moves past Kwaku by securing that bronze medal. More kilos and bigger total than they needed for the bronze, but
Yeah, the pressure is starting to come on now from more new lifters in the class. Garcia knows that he's no longer safe. He has to keep pushing. He's tried and tested on this platform before.
yeah, he's got quite the resume at this point. Another medal to add to it as 270. Looking to finish off with an even 600 kilo total. This will put him in 5th place. Will he get 600 and top 5? Lockout's good, 3 white lights.
And just 2 pulls remaining, Ryan.
Yeah, and we know we know what time it is. We know what final 2 pulls it is. And Spain's Ivan Campano will attempt 290 kilos to move his total to 660. And in the lead for the gold medal with Michael Slavic ready to respond. It's all come down to this. 277.5, moved like a second attempt should. Definitely a lot of kilos there. Is there 12 and a half, Amelia? We're about to find out.
And if he does make this, as you mentioned before, Michael Slavic is going to have to pull another world record. And can he do it in such quick succession?
There's a story there. I'll put a pin in it. Let's see what Ivan does.
He holds on to it, and
it
that
looks
is
like
right.
he's done it.
He's reigning world champion.
Ivan
Highlights, a good lift, and
Campano
he is pushing.
Tells
Mike
Team
Slavic.
USA, load up, young man. Adjust your final attempt and load up.
And now the heat is on Team USA. As we were saying before, they've now changed that down to 305 as we expected to see. It is to match on a lighter body weight, but can he pull that sheer amount of weight so close to that 303 to take the world title away from reigning champion Ivan Campano Diaz?
305, 315 would have gave him the world record, the long-standing world record, but obviously walk away with the title. 305, to your point, 303 earlier, 305 now. He's never had to do 300 kilos and up twice in the same day. The biggest ask in his career. It's all come down to the final pull. Here it is. Does he live up to the hype?
Another world record deadlift attempt, pushing the junior total record even further for a chance of the crown at the Open Championships.
Oh, no! Just at lockout.
And the crown remains in Spain.
Yeah.
Ivan Campano Diaz, absolutely incredible.
What
So
a
close.
sensational battle in the 59s, though. And I had said earlier, 50-50 on those big pulls when you're a sumo puller at the top, lockout. I hate to be the guy, but balance really is the issue when you're top end. It's difficult when you're spread that big and have a pull that heavy, balance is an issue at lockout. It continues to be a 50-50 proposition. Over 300 kilos once he hits, once he misses. And this has got to be the best battle of the 59s we've ever seen in the IPF World Championship.
100%. And can I say, maybe the best opening session to a World Championship that we've ever had as well at that.
Phenomenal display as Ivan Campano, with 660, retains his title, and Michael Slavic, literally, I wouldn't even say inches, it was locked out, seconds away from taking that title with a phenomenal final pull, settles for this silver medal, and Antoine Garcia in another sensational battle, taking bronze. This is the type of showing that begs a return, begs a rematch. Have them run it back. I can't wait to see where this rivalry continues. Amelia, final thoughts.
I am just absolutely astounded by the quality of lifting this morning. I have so many thoughts I will share with you afterwards. I don't want to hold everyone up because we are going to see them crowned, so well deserved right now. But what a session to start.
And there's more where that came from later on. Of course, the Battle of the 47s. Don't go anywhere. Up next, the medal ceremony.
IPF and all of its sponsors, each lifter will be given out a participation award as a souvenir of the 2026 IPF World and Open Classic Powerlifting Championships here in Lithuania, Lithuania. Awards are given out by Dietmar Wolf, Vice President of the IPF, and Sigurd Pedersen, the President of the Federation. So of course we're going to be starting off with the squat medals. In bronze medal position with a best attempt of 230 kilos, it is Michael Savage of the USA. Michael, please step up to the third step of the podium. Michael, you may step up to the third step of the podium. Silver medalist of the squat event with that same best attempt of 230 kilos but lighter on body weight. He's made some great progress. It is Kwakunyako out of Ghana. And squat gold goes to the world record holder Antoine Garcia of France with 235. Thank you, gentlemen. So we're now moving on to the bench press event. And we have a medalist out of the B group in bronze medal position from the Netherlands with 147.5, Kemal Ergen. Silver medalist with a personal best attempt of 150 today from Spain, Ivan Camparo Diaz. And another medal from the B group, but also a junior world record with 155, Georgi Gelashvili from Georgia. It's bench press gold. Congrats, gentlemen. So we're now moving on to the deadlift event. Bronze medalist with a PB of 270 from Chinese Taipei, it is Yao Wei Yu. Silver medalist in an insane turnout of events with a PB of 290 from Spain, Ivan Camparo Diaz. And the gold medalist of the deadlift event with a junior and open deadlift record at 303, Michael Savage of the USA. Congrats, gentlemen. Now to what we've been waiting for, the final placings in the class. Year in and year out, he finds his way onto the podium. Bronze medalist today in the class with 6:32.5 from France, Antoine Garcia. Silver medalist and vice champion of the world for only his third competition in the federation with 6:58, Michael Savage from the USA. And holding on to the throne, and still, your 2026 IPF World Champion in the 59s, out of Spain with 6:60, Ivan Gonzalo Diaz. And now I will kindly ask everyone in attendance to stand up for the national anthem of España. Congratulations, gentlemen. This is the best podium you've ever seen in the 59 weight class. Medals from the people, great improvements being made, great sportsmanship. Congratulations to all of the 59s. Now, behind our technical controller, one last lap of honor around the platform. And please, a huge round of applause for the 59s of this World Championship. Next up, the opening